Another thing that was brought up, and this has been a hot topic on Twitter, I want to talk about this for a moment, is how come Dalen Terry's not playing? So we've all had disagreements in the past, whether it be people on Bulls Twitter, fans in general, whatever. But MK Hoops was being kind of dragged about, saying like, there's a reason he's not in the lineup. This is the reason. And I had tweeted out something before that was pretty much along those lines of thinking. Dalen Terry is very raw. Okay. We remember last year, and I'm not trying to equate it to this completely, but I can use it as a parallel. When people were calling for Marko Simonovic and you and I went and hit the G League game and we're like, it ain't it. I mean, it's not close to being it. I've watched Dalen Terry play some G League ball because ESPN Plus carries all that stuff, which if you didn't know that, now you know. That's why it's a really pretty cool investment, is ESPN Plus carries a lot of those G League games. So I'll be able to watch. Dalen's got
to watch Scoot Henderson in about a week or two when we blow this shit up.
Yeah, exactly right. God, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Anyway, I've watched Dalen play, and Dalen, his jumper's not all there, but he's a high motor guy. He does get himself involved. He's got above average handles, but right now, who are you going to play him in front of? Are you going to play him in front of Caruso? You going to play him in front of Kobe White, who you're probably trying to hope salvage some trade value over? I mean, if this front office is smart at all, are you going to play him over Derek Jones Jr., who's won everybody over with his hustle? Are you going to play him over Ayo Dosunmu, who's your starting point? No, you're not. I mean, we're running a 9-man rotation right now.
You drafted a 3-and-D guy in the middle of the draft in the first round that can't shoot. This is what happens. It's funny because, I brought up earlier in the week, Walker Kessler went 4 picks after Dalen Terry. We hear everybody talk about how bad we need rim protection. Well, that was that guy's one elite known skill coming out of the league, and he was valuable. Talk about a guy not getting playing time. Well, there's a guy that would have gotten playing time on your team because he fills a need. A need that you've had since you traded Daniel Gafford for Troy Brown Jr., who's no longer on your roster. So the Bulls had options that weren't just Andre Drummond. You had a cheap rookie contract on a rim protector. The best rim protector in the draft was available when you selected Dalen Terry.
Right.
And I had somebody go, well, were you on the Walker Kessler? Yep. Let me type this into the Twitter bar. Kessler, Bulls. Yep, right there. Would not suck to have Walker Kessler. Tari Eastman went a pick before the Bulls, doing fucking awesome for the Rockets. And then I mentioned Jalen Williams. So I was pretty much spot on with very little draft knowledge of last year because we didn't watch as much college as usual because we were good. There's exciting things to talk about in Bulls culture last year. But right now it's Dalen Terry's the least of our issues. I don't know if Dalen Terry's ever going to play. I think he's better than Simonovic, but the Bulls drafted a long-term project that's good at a little bit of everything, but not great at any one thing that's going to crack this current rotation.
I think you'd be totally fine with a ton of playing time if they picked a lane to just kind of sell off your assets.
Yeah, and you get rid of DeMar DeRozan, there's 40 minutes available on the wing.
Right.
And there you go, Dalen Terry.
Right. So, I mean, it's just a non-issue until this team realizes that it's not competing, because that's what I put in my tweet. And that's what I put in my article that you can find over at ontapsports.com. What's up, plug? If you go over there, I wrote an article that says, so where's Dalen Terry? And I wrote in a piece in the article in a paragraph of the Bulls need to be ready to acknowledge that they're not competing anymore, that this is lost. And even if you somehow find your way into the play-in, and all that good shit.
You're going backwards. That's not what the message in the offseason was.
No, exactly. And I'm just following what they said. This isn't what I've made up in my own mind. This is what I follow, what they implied. This is what they implied, that they needed improvement on last year.
Yeah, on track.
So you're off track with an aging roster, with a center who is going into unrestricted free agency.
Who is playing the best on your team right now.
Right. Oh, and thank God he is. Because I'll tell you something. If they don't, I'm telling you, dude. If they don't fucking trade him when he's playing hot, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you because you might be right now for a contest. I don't know who. I don't know where. I don't know how creative they need to get.
I think he would be an upgrade over Zubac.
Oh, no shit.
For
Absolutely.
a team like the Clippers, if you feel you're going to be healthy, a 1-year rental on Vooch is something think a team
Well,
like
it's a
that
half year
could do.
rental, but going into the
Yeah.
playoffs, I guess you can count a year.
That's all that matters. I mean, that's all the Clippers are playing for. I'm surprised we got Paul George and Kawhi on the floor together tonight.
Yeah, that was, that was shocking.
They have probably, at least in my opinion, like scariest roster. If they're whole, like I guess John Wall. I don't know what the hell.
John Wall's got that abdominal injury, and he's going to be reevaluated in I think like 9 days or something.
Okay, so but they have probably the most 3-and-D wings that actually are 3-and-D wings on a roster.
They got some snipers too.
2 of them are fucking superstars when healthy, and that team to me, like that's a team. I think Vooch might have had a tryout tonight. Another
the fuck
team,
would you even want from over there?
Nothing. That's the fucking issue.
Yeah, like I mean,
you don't have any firsts from trading from Paul George. Like OKC's got all your picks. Yeah, no, there's really.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. I mean, I'd take a flyer on Terrence Mann if I could. I like that kid.
Yeah, no, I like Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann's good.
You know, but again, I wouldn't do that for just Vooch or whatever. How you make the salaries match? I mean, fuck around with them. But
today we're flirting with giving away 2 top 10 picks for Vooch and Wendell Carter Jr. So if you ain't gonna pay this man, you better get something back for him. Because if he walks for free in the offseason, I'm gonna change my tune on the. Just let them do what they got to do.
Yeah, I'll be very, very
absolutely no value for Vucevic after you traded the house for him and went all in on him. Done. See ya.
Yeah, I'd be 100% honest with you. I'd be super, super fucking critical if they were to not get
the caveat I will add there is this front office does know what a sign and trade is. So if the trade does not happen and they play out the season, it is very possible that they still salvage decent value, assuming Vooch can get a big enough contract where you kind of have to play that game with a certain team.
It's so wild that tomorrow is February. So the trade deadline that we've been speaking about is literally a week away. You know, man, this is the fucked up part about it. You know, they sit here at 23-27, 4 games under 500, sitting in they're actually out with that loss. Okay, so this was the first time I think this has happened, isn't it? They're 11th.
We're 11th.
Or is the second time this has happened? They're 11th.
Second time. I think after we won the last game.
Yeah, they are 11th now in the Eastern Conference, which means what, Goose? They're out of the play team. They're not even
not even the worst playing team.
And I saw somebody, I think it was Ricky, SPN Ricky, which is an awesome guy. I've talked to him quite a few times, but he put, the Bulls are, they're average. Well, so how they, like their points per game is 114.3, right? And then their opponent's points per game is 114.4. If you're 11th in the Eastern Conference, you're not average, you're below average.
That would be like if it was on par with the West, that'd be 22nd out of 30 teams. No, that's not average. That's below average.
It's below average.